One person is dead tonight. Police say another admitted to pulling the trigger and is currently with investigators.
The night team's Camelia Juarez joins us live from the 7-Eleven at 410 in Nacogdoches, where police are now conducting a murder investigation.
Tim, Courtney, San Antonio police have taped off this entire gas station. So far, we know that one person was shot and killed inside of that car wash. San Antonio police say they got a call around 7:30 for a shooting. Two people were inside the car wash, and police say one person fired a single shot. Police say the shooter got out of the car and told someone inside the gas station. The shooter claims self-defense, but homicide detectives are still investigating. The suspect was taken to police headquarters for further questioning. Now, the suspect was between 20 and 30 years old, and the victim was in their 30s or 40s. When we learn more, we'll let you know on air and online. Reporting live on the northeast side, Camelia Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
New on the Nightbeat, the state's largest refugee resettlement agency says it can no longer take on new clients. Refugee Services of Texas will continue to help its existing clients, but say recent refugee surges have eaten up their budget.
Now, while the pause is temporary, Camelia Juarez tells us what this means for refugees across the state going forward.
When the team, they took us there, we were hugging each other, and we were so happy. And as I said, I was about to cry.
Hamad Sarosh and his wife fled Afghanistan last year. And after 6 months of moving around, Refugee Services of Texas helped Sarosh settle into his own apartment.
And finally, I was saying, okay, I'm in my new home.
Sarosh and his wife were given medical care, cultural education, and even a job.
The position I work, the environment which I work, I love it.
Refugee Services of Texas will continue to serve its 1,300 clients, including Sarosh. But due to a recently depleted budget, for the next 4 months, the agency will have to refer new refugees to national organizations.
We just need all hands on deck right now to be able to close this gap.
Chris Kelly with Refugee Services of Texas is talking about the $4 million the agency hopes to raise. He says under former President Trump's administration, fewer refugees were entering the U.S. and needing services. But the agency became overwhelmed following the evacuation of Afghanistan and the Russian invasion on Ukraine. The number of people in need rose quickly.
It was a chaotic evacuation, and our job was to resettle as many of those folks as we could in a very short period.
To save money, the agency is reducing its staff by 45% and closing offices in Fort Worth and Houston, a decision that Kelly says is heartbreaking because the staff members work and live where the refugees live.
There are people, they can't speak English, they don't understand the GPS. That's why I'm saying they need agencies like RST to support them.
Camelia Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
New on the Nightbeat, the body of a man was discovered in a creek along San Pedro Avenue earlier this evening. San Antonio police officers and a helicopter making that discovery in the 5900 block of San Pedro as they were searching for a missing person. Officers at the scene say the body is that of a man possibly in his 20s or 30s. They tell us it's unclear right now how that man died, but say it appeared that he had some trauma to his body. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office trying to identify that man. Police say there are several homeless encampments under that bridge in the area further up the creek, and they say due to last night's storms, the water levels there were noticeably high.
Also new on the Nightbeat, a diesel leak is being monitored near the water treatment plant in the city of Kerrville. According to a statement released by the city public information officer, the leak was detected at a business upstream of the water plant. The statement says Friday's storms caused damage that led to the leak. The Texas Commission on Environmental Quality has been notified. Kerrville city officials say the appropriate precautions have been taken and the city switched water to the groundwater wells. The city will remain on groundwater wells until the water plant comes back on, which is expected to happen sometime next week.
It is high time for graduation season for high school students and college students. And for one Texas State student, this year brought more hardship than she could have ever imagined.
Yeah, she tells the night team's Lee Waldman she couldn't have gone through it without an angel by her side.
There's a palpable excitement in the air at Texas State University as hundreds of almost graduates eagerly await for their names to be called to get their diplomas they've worked so hard for.
So that you can get through this year, there's nothing stopping you, nothing at all.
For the entire Mata family, they've just been getting through the year since they lost Tess last May.
I know she had a really hard morning this morning getting out of bed, so it was really hard not having her sister here.
Tess's picture filled her chair instead. The 10-year-old was killed nearly 1 year ago at Robb Elementary. Veronica and her husband Jerry holding on to one another as they watched Faith be recognized for graduating college and making it through the unimaginable.
It's just a long time. I'm glad that it's finally happened, and I'm proud of her. I know it took a lot out of her, so I'm very proud of her.
From Faith's cap to her tassel and stole, you can see pieces of little Tess everywhere and feel her in the excitement of this moment. Her extended family, the loved ones of some of the other 21 victims, there to cheer Faith on as she jumped into the river, holding Tess's photo.
It feels bittersweet. I'm glad that I could be here with all the people who are part of my journey. Though I'm missing Tess, it sucks, but I'm ready to jump into the future now.
Her little sister visiting Faith in a dream, letting her know she's always there.
I just felt comforted. I just know. I just feel her all the time.
Faith, again, we're all so incredibly proud of your accomplishment. Keep on shining. Faith has really big plans for the future, plans that were shaped in part by what her and her family went through in this last year. We'll have more on that story and more tributes to those victims and survivors of the Robb tragedy on May 24th at 9 p.m. and an hour-long KSAT 12 News special we're calling 1 Year In. Uvalde, back to you.
Thank you, Lee. I want to get you some breaking news right now. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office is working a fatal accident over on the northwest side in the 7,000 block of Northwest Loop 410 near Highway 151. Right now, details pretty limited.
Yeah, but deputies say the traffic on the westbound lanes of the underpass of 151 and the southbound lanes of the frontage road at 410, both being diverted onto the frontage road at 151. Deputies are advising drivers to avoid that area if at all possible. We have a crew on the way to the scene, and we will update you on the developing story as we get more information.
Staffers and volunteers with the San Antonio Food Bank going the extra mile today, offering clients curbside service. Families were able to drive right up and have groceries placed into their vehicles. The curbside service allows the food bank to assist their clients quickly and efficiently. Inflation and changes in SNAP benefits have more people utilizing the resources offered by the food bank.
Well, back to Uvalde in the midst.
There's been a high need right now with their benefits being lowered, and a lot of them it's lower than usual, and we just need that help to get by right now, and it has been an influx.
Family members and authorities along the Texas Gulf Coast confirm one person is dead after an F1 tornado touched down early Saturday morning. The man's name was Roberto Flores, who died when a nearby trailer was lifted during the storm and crushed his mobile home in Laguna Heights. The damage you currently see is near Port Isabel, where weather authorities say it's rare to see tornadoes. Officials say 11 people were taken to hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries due to the tornado. At least 36 people are currently staying in emergency shelters as they deal with the storm damage to their homes.
And looking at live cam, we have increasing clouds out there again. A little bit of clearing out there earlier, increasing clouds, some energy coming in from the south, and that'll give us, I think, a great start to the day tomorrow. We have some good news, though. The aquifer is up, and it continues to climb. It's already up just over 3 feet, and it's still rising continually. It's going to respond to this heavy rainfall probably for another day, maybe even 2. As for the pollen count, mold is high at 1,700. That's usually a side effect of some heavy rainfall. Grass and pine, both on the low end. As we go through the rest of the night, it's going to be quiet out there. No big deal, just quiet weather. And then it's going to pick up a little bit again as we get into tomorrow. We'll talk about our storm chances, the unique weather pattern that we're in, and when temperatures rebound more in just a bit.
Coming up, frustrated parents at their wits' end because of the lack of available daycare spots. How an initiative spearheaded by Pre-KSA is helping alleviate so-called childcare deserts here in San Antonio. Plus, the owner of this Mexican restaurant not too happy to see KSAT investigates this week what health inspectors found behind their kitchen door.
It was predicted that the end of Title 42 would bring a wave of migrants, but so far that hasn't materialized. Government officials now dealing with new immigration policies as asylum seekers continue trying to enter the U.S.
Many people predicted a surge of migrants at the southern U.S. border as Title 42 came to an end earlier this week.
But the Biden administration says that surge has not been as dramatic as some expected. ABC's Phil Lipoff with what asylum seekers arriving at the U.S. border will now face that the new immigration policies are in effect.
Title 42, the Trump-era health policy that allowed for the quick removal of migrants from the U.S., came to an end earlier this week. Many feared there would be a surge of migrants at the border, but on Friday, the Biden administration says so far that surge has not been as dramatic as some predicted.
We did not see a substantial increase overnight or an influx at midnight.
A new immigration policy now requires non-Mexican migrants to first apply for and be denied asylum in another country. Migrants will have to make an appointment on the CBP One app, but many are having problems with the technology.
There is no internet going on this border town. Internet's very important, or you can't use the app, and no one ever talks about that fact.
If the new immigration rules are not followed, migrants could be removed and not allowed to enter the U.S. for at least 5 years.
The purpose of what we're doing now is making legal immigration more streamlined and moving in the direction that people know that there's a legal way to get here and not a legal way.
Meantime, border cities continue to feel the pressure. An estimated record 10,000 migrants crossed per day this week, 1,800 coming into El Paso, Texas on Thursday alone.
We know that we still need to prepare for the unknown.
But the challenges are not limited to border cities. This bus carrying migrants arrived in Manhattan on Friday. New York City and Chicago declaring states of emergencies as cities across the country struggle to deal with the influx of migrants. Phil Lipoff, ABC News, New York.
Well, we've got a bit of a quiet night finally after all of the drama that we had overnight, but at least it brought so much rain, Adam.
Some much needed rainfall and something we haven't seen in quite some time, in over 500 days. Wow. We're going to get to that in just a moment.
Crazy.
First, quick look at our weather headlines here. And going forward, we're going to have more scattered storm chances. This is a very unique, unsettled weather pattern that we're in, along with temperatures that are running below average and then just right near average once they finally rise again into next week. All right, let's take a look at our rainfall chances going forward. And we do have more opportunities. So if you missed out, we've got 40% tomorrow afternoon. We boost that to 60% on Monday. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be at 60% all day long. Just for periods of the day, we'll see some decent coverage. Tuesday back to 40%, and then we see those storm chances dwindle as we go on into next week. All right, 2.31 inches of rain today at the airport. That is the first time in 577 days we've had that much rain between midnight and midnight. So in a calendar day, this is the highest one-day rain total since October 13th. 2021. That's beautiful. As for actual accumulations, you look across our area, some of the most drought-stricken parts of Texas here in the Hill Country. And by the way, next half hour, I'm going to show you the drought monitor along with the radar across it and where the rain passed over the drought-stricken areas. But Kerrville, 1.87. These are actual rain gauge measurements, not Doppler radar estimates. Vanderpool, just under 2 inches. Garner State Park, 3 inches, actually 3.03. Spring Branch, 2.09. Castroville, over 2 inches. Let's go farther to the east. Lavaca River here. This is one of the stream gauges in southeastern Lavaca County, and that's at 4.26 inches between yesterday and today, and a lot of that really was just today. Smiley, over 6 inches measured in Smiley. Very impressive. Now, it's a unique pattern that we're in right now. It's one we don't see very often around here. One little swirl out in the Gulf of Mexico. This little swirl starting to throw some energy and rain, but that's ending up right near Houston and Galveston, and there are some indications this could creep into some of our eastern counties. And then we also have a few other swirls, one up in the Panhandle causing some showers there, actually another in the Four Corners region, and then one over the Baja Peninsula. It's like these are all stacked up around the western U.S., Texas, and Mexico. It's because of this blocking high here that's over Louisiana and Mississippi. This blocking high, Big Blue H, is just preventing anything from moving. It's a roadblock in the atmosphere, and it's going to stick around. And these random little disturbances are swirling around. They're tough to pinpoint and really figure out exactly where they're going to develop those showers, but they still give us those chances, and at times elevated chances in the days ahead. So here's a look at today. 64 in the morning, 78 for our high temperature. Back to running below average, 78 the high. The average is 86. We'll be there again, I think, by the middle part of the upcoming week. Right now we're at 71, dew point is 65, not a breeze out there. 72 in Carrizo Springs, 64 in Kerrville, a beautiful evening, feels good outside. A little break in the humidity. It's not the oppressive mugginess that we had over the previous days. It's not dew points in the 70s. Instead, dew points are in the 60s, where it's muggy, but tolerable, right? 66 in the morning tomorrow, mainly gray, the off chance of a brief shower or two, 20%. By the noon hour, I think a few breaks in the clouds, which if we see more sun, the more sun you see, let's put it that way, the more sun you get in your area, the higher your storm chances are into the afternoon, because it's going to destabilize you a little bit more. So we're giving it that 40%, just some scattered activity in the afternoon. 81 the high temperature. That's here in San Antonio, and for the most part, we'll be in the lower 80s, about 83 in Floresville. Looking ahead, Monday, 77. We boosted those rain chances, so temperature goes down a little bit. By Tuesday, we're at 80 degrees, and then next week, mid-80s. So really nothing outrageous in terms of temperatures. We can handle that, right? Mid-80s, that's easy for this time of year.
Mother's Day is not canceled, people. You still got to get it together, not just because a little bit of rain.
We'll survive. All right, the rookies have made it to the Star in Frisco. Andrew?
That's right, and Mike McCarthy has not. He's still dealing with a back procedure he had last week, so who takes over in his stead? Defensive coordinator Dan Quinn. When we come back, we'll get Quinn's thoughts on what he's seeing from the young rooks. Plus, 5 new members were inducted into the San Antonio Sports Hall of Fame today. We'll hear from them as well next.
This month of onboarding, indoctrinating, however you want to say it, is such an important time, but it keeps me young.
Defensive coordinator Dan Quinn loves this part of the year in big board sports. But first, this evening we welcome 5 new members to the San Antonio Sports Hall of Fame. The class of 2023 was officially inducted and celebrated at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. The list of inductees includes 2016 PGA champion Jimmy Walker, who graduated from New Braunfels Canyon, USA track and field Olympic coach Rose Monday, who has ties to UTSA, former Spurs and UTSA guard Devin Brown, who was the first Roadrunner to record a triple-double and have his jersey number retired, former Churchill High School volleyball coach Wanda Bingham, and 4-time college tennis champion and Trinity University tennis coach Emily Burr Foster.
So unbelievable for me to have all these ex-students here. My whole family is here. It's just unbelievable. It's like a dream come true.
A little shy of the attention. You know, when you're out there at the Olympics, you're doing what we do is coaching, but you know, being here, it's really an honor.
I grew up here, and all of the tennis skills that I learned right here in San Antonio. And a lot of these people played a role in that. And I'm just grateful for their support then and their continued support now.
This is what it's all about. You know, as they get older and start hearing Dad's name being mentioned with sports, gives them some sort of idea of what Dad did.
Another memory that will last a lifetime. Proceeds from the gala went to benefit the San Antonio Sports Youth and Community Programs.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Today marks the only day that the Cowboys spend on the field at the Star in Frisco for rookie minicamp, and head coach Mike McCarthy wasn't there. He's still recovering from a back procedure he underwent last week. McCarthy has still been involved with meetings, though, via Zoom calls. But in the meantime, defensive coordinator Dan Quinn took charge and addressed the rookies alongside Jerry Jones to start practice today. Make no mistake, McCarthy's vision for this team still flows through Quinn and the rest of the coaching staff this week. Practices are limited to non-contract drills, though. So what do the coaches want to see from the rookies over the weekend?
Learning the system, number one, and then what we can do is look at the movements, and we can try to do specific drills to help, you know, on your read to where to go, but without, you know, going against one another. We won't get as much of that, but You can certainly simulate drills and certain techniques, and so that's what you do. You've seen the guys on the sled and how to work things, so it's more about how we do things here. I had told the guys all across the league over the last 2 weeks, every team has put in cover 3. It's not what we do, it's how we play it.
There are no pads during these practices either, but there are helmets, and the rookies notice that there's something very specific missing from the side.
It's missing the story, but I'm okay with it. I'm gonna earn it. That's what I want to do. So I actually wanted that. I want to be able to earn that story. I want to be able to, know that the vets trust me, and with that. So whatever I got to do to get that star on my helmet, that's what I'm gonna do.
Rookie minicamp continues through the 15th. The Houston Texans are finally getting a glimpse of what 3rd overall pick Will Anderson Jr. can bring to the table at their own rookie minicamp. First impressions are important. What was the main message that the Alabama product has heard in the facility?
Being intentional, swarming to the ball, having that special, relentless mindset, stuff like that. And, just being a part of the team and being family and being together. That's the biggest message that, he's been trying to express to the team. And it's been kind of easy for me to grasp that. And that's why I'm super excited to be a part of this team.
Coming up later in sports, we head back to Austin to recap the final day of state track and field. 2 state champs coming back, plus a lot of medalists, guys.
We'll look forward to it. Thank you, Andrew.
You got it.
I just wanted to follow up. You guys had problems with rodents still. Do you know if that's been dealt with?
Right after this break, I dropped by a Thai restaurant that's been dealing with a rodent problem. The good news they shared with me this week when I go behind the kitchen door.
A supermarket racked up numerous health code violations and a low score during a recent inspection.
While a Thai restaurant continued dealing with a rodent problem, just a few of the things I discovered this week when I went behind the kitchen door.
The Poco Loco Supermercado in the 3400 block of Nogalitos earned a 73 on their recent inspection. There was mold on corn tortilla chips and moldy cucumbers in a walk-in cooler. Pork lard stored on shelves needed to be refrigerated. It was also past the expiration date. A leak at the mop sink was causing water to pool on the floor. A re-inspection was ordered. Long John Silver's in the 5400 block of Walsham got an 84. There was a mold-like substance growing on a sauce jar and a cooler. The ice machine had a buildup of dirt and debris inside and out, and there was hair in there too. A cooler was too warm. The area around the frying equipment needed a good cleaning, and so did the fans, vents, and walls. Salsa's Mexican restaurant in the 5900 block of Rittiman earned an 85. Not bad, but the owner sure didn't want us telling you about it. He tried to block our camera. They earned deductions for improperly storing food. There was a pink mold-like growth in the ice machine, and the soda nozzles were contaminated with dirt and debris that needed to be cleaned. A dead roach was in the kitchen, and beans and eggs were found stored on the floor. The owner said he's made the corrections and hired pest control. Finally, we revisit Yaya's Thai restaurant on McCullough. Last year, they got a 76 and were dealing with a rodent problem. This time around, they improved to an 81, but mice were still getting inside.
Hello.
I stopped by this week to see if they've made any progress.
You guys had problems with rodents still. Do you know if that's been dealt with?
This manager agreed to talk even though she was dealing with a voice problem. She showed me they hired pest control and got good news last week.
Friday. They were back here on Friday and they gave you the all cleared?
Everything clear.
Okay.
She explained the building is very old and they've tried to get the owner to make repairs to keep pests out.
We already report to the owner of the building, but they don't take the reaction immediately.
They hope customers understand they're doing all they can. Tim Gerber, KSAT 12 News.
In news across America, a Cleveland EMT who disappeared last weekend limped into a convenience store Friday, telling the clerk she'd escaped from the people who kidnapped her. Surveillance video shows Lachelle Jordan entering that store barefoot and in torn clothes 3 miles from where she was last seen. Her family says she disappeared last weekend after stepping out of her home to get something from her car. Her family says she'd been hospitalized for trauma and injuries, but say they're grateful for the efforts law enforcement and others used who helped rescue her.
When I first stepped up to something like this, I had one small request. and that was to bring my daughter home safely. And through the support of law enforcement, media, EMS, community, and everybody that wanted to be somebody, that request was granted.
Jordan's alleged kidnapping took place days before she was scheduled to testify in a rape and kidnapping case. Investigators still say it's unclear whether the incident is connected with that upcoming testimony.
To New York now, where more than $1 million has been collected to pay for a defense of a Marine veteran charged in the death of a homeless man. That's how much the online site Give, Send, Go has collected for Daniel Perry as of today. More than 8,000 people have donated to the site. Perry appearing in court yesterday and was officially charged with second-degree manslaughter in the death of Jordan Neely on a subway train earlier this month. Passengers said Neely was acting erratic. Perry restrained Neely with a chokehold, and Neely later died. Perry's lawyers say they are confident their client will be cleared of any wrongdoing.
The woman in South Carolina accused of killing a bride in a DWI crash on her wedding day last month reportedly had a blood alcohol content that was over 3 times the legal limit. That's according to toxicology records recently released to law enforcement. They say 25-year-old Jamie Komorowski was driving 65 miles per hour in a 25-mile-per-hour zone when she drove her car into a golf cart carrying the newly married couple. The bride, 34-year-old Samantha Hutchinson, died of blunt force injuries. Her husband and 2 others were also injured in the crash. Komorowski is charged with 1 count of reckless homicide and 3 counts of felony DUI resulting in great bodily harm. Turning to world headlines now, a ceasefire has been declared in the current fighting between Israel and Palestine. That ceasefire to begin today after a 5-day conflict. Israeli airstrikes were aimed at what it called Palestinian Islamic Jihad commanders and infrastructure. 1,200 rockets were then launched from Gaza towards Israel.
Today, Pope Francis held a historic meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at the Vatican. In a statement released by the Vatican press office, the Pope stressed an urgent need for human gestures towards the most fragile and innocent victims of the ongoing war in Ukraine. Zelensky and the Pope discussed the humanitarian and political effects of the conflict. The Vatican stated, quote, "The Pope has assured his constant prayer," unquote.
Still ahead, the struggle to find the daycare has the city agency looking to establish partnerships with child care professionals. Which agency is taking the lead to tackle this and what they're doing?
If you ask any number of parents, child care deserts are a real thing, causing real headaches when it comes to finding available spots at facilities close to their homes and their jobs.
It definitely is. One location identified as a child care desert is the south side of Bexar County. And the Night Team's Camelia Juarez tells us Pre-K for SA is trying to help parents by fostering a relationship with other child care providers.
Samantha Bermea wants to make sure her 1-year-old will have a clean and educational experience when she drops her off at daycare. But she says there are few options on the south side.
Close to my home, I've really never seen much of childcare.
The nonprofit Children at Risk found several zip codes in Bexar County have less than 5 child care facilities for every 100 children.
It's a problem. Especially if you don't have the transportation to travel to high quality places.
To alleviate the South Side's child care desert, Pre-K for SA is moving its child care center on New Braunfels to Southeast Loop 410.
What we saw during the pandemic is that became an even more acute crisis, and we lost 20% of our providers in Bexar County.
Pre-K for SA is helping existing child care centers find sustainable business models while improving the care they provide. It's called the Shared Service Alliance. The alliance provides CDA child care training and a $1,500 incentive for teachers to stay after receiving that certification.
So that's a big incentive to have teachers stay and receive their credential. Those are some of the biggest pluses for me.
For mothers like Bermea, trained staff means a better experience for her growing daughter.
I want my daughter to learn. I want her to reach different milestones. It's not just, for work, it's, for herself.
Camelia Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
Here's our live cam, taking a peek over the airport and 410 there. 410, we're looking basically westward off to the northwest at the moment. Temperature 68 degrees. We're only going to fall off a few more degrees as we go through the night. I want to give you a little update on our rainfall at San Antonio International Airport. That's where it's officially measured. That's our official climate site. So that's what we have to go by for the official records in town. Since May 1st now, we've had 2.78 inches, most of that coming very early this morning. That's over an inch above average. And when you look at the year as a whole, we're finally above average. Since January 1st, we've had 10.7 inches of precipitation, and that's just over a half inch above average. It's nice to see this. We have more storm chances in the forecast to talk about. We'll get to that in a little bit, along with radar estimates, the drought monitor, and where the rain fell, where it's needed in just a bit.
Adam Caskey here late into the morning hours of Saturday. I know this because my wife and I were watching on the KSAT Weather Authority app in the garage as those storms went by. I won't tell you what we were drinking while we were watching that.
No, I'm curious.
He was off work. He was off work.
Was it light or was it regular, I guess? I don't know. Oh, it was light. Okay. That's all I need to know.
It was late.
I was
was it
sleeping.
mixed?
Sorry.
But we were there in spirit. We were supporting.
In spirit, you heard him.
I appreciate that. Thank you. But I do love that we can connect live to you straight on the Weather Authority app. You can be out and about, you can be mobile, and it's us coming to you straight from the Weather Center. All right, let's take a look at some of the aftermath of the rainfall, the heavy rainfall that we had. This was pinned in earlier this morning on KSAT Connect, I-35 north at Somerset. We also have the Main Street Bridge in Yorktown, right near Yorktown High School. You know the water's high because you can see the street lights in the middle there. There's, or park lights, I guess, could be one or the other. Either way, usually it's illuminating the ground and not water. And then this is interesting. We just got this in Falls City. Been a while since I've seen the creek at the farm this high in Falls City. And I really like that vantage point because, you landowners, you know your land better than anybody, and you get those little benchmarks and those comparisons that stay in your mind, and you can compare all these different rain events. And it's fun to go out and check, just to see where the water is and where it is compared to normal or compared to our drought. And speaking of drought, no drought in Falls City. No drought farther to the east of San Antonio along the coastal plain from Gonzales all the way down to about Poth, Kennedy, Karnes City, Beeville, Victoria. No drought. But once you get into San Antonio and especially up into the hill country, it's a different story. That's where we still have the extreme and exceptional drought. Now, keep in mind, this does not take into account the rainfall we had last night and this morning. The next drought monitor issued on Thursday will take into account this rain. And good rain it was to put a dent in the drought and maintain a lack of drought along the coastal plain. That's what I like to call the maintenance rain. So we had some maintenance rain off to the east, a little too much of a good thing in spots, and then drought denting rain in the hill country and even San Antonio. So it was nice to see that. And I expect some good improvements in the next drought monitor. You look at the rainfall estimated by Doppler radar, and off to the east, these red pockets are a minimum of 4 inches. So Smiley, 5.4 estimated by the radar, even higher amounts actually measured by rain gauges. Hallettsville about 2.8, Shiner 3.4, Cuero 2.8 inches, Yorktown about 4 inches, and a lot of that came in a short amount of time. You get locally, and the yellow indicates 2 inches and above. So widespread across San Antonio, 2 to 3 inches of rainfall fell. That was good to see. And then in the really drought-stricken area I showed you, Kerrville 3.1, Medina 1.8, Comfort 1.4, and that was estimated. This is a unique weather pattern we're in. We've got a blocking high over Mississippi and Alabama, and then these little disturbances here that keep getting thrown our way from the main disturbance over the Baja Peninsula, and they're hard to time out and exactly place, and the guidance has a difficult time on exactly placing these and then figuring out where they're going to move. But this high is stalling the pattern and putting a little roadblock in. Some scattered showers and storms tomorrow afternoon will give it 40% chance. Monday we're up to 60, not at all times during the day, but especially parts of the day and into the afternoon. Tuesday 40%, then we see those storm chances fall off again into next week. So we'll start tomorrow at 66. By the afternoon, we're at 81, mostly cloudy, with that 40% chance later on in the day, particularly. And then high temperatures in the mid-80s next week, and that's average for this time of year. So back to average.
That's always nice. Average is good.
It's okay to be average every now and then.
It is.
I think it's great.
I agree.
Andrew is nothing but average, and neither are any of the track champions he's about to tell us.
Did you just say nothing but average?
I said you're
I think that's an insult.
No,
that's an insult. That's an insult.
I thought this was going to be more fun. It was an accident.
No. I think some of that drink from last night's coming over. Either way, we're talking state track when we come back. We have 2 state champs coming back home with gold medals. We're talking Michael Pinones out of East Central and Ray Clendenin out of Brandeis. Plus, San Antonio FC pulled off their biggest win of the season. Not only that, franchise history. Next. The UIL State Track and Field Championships wrap up this evening in Austin, and the entire schedule is condensed due to inclement weather. But that didn't stop East Central senior Michael Pinones from going out on top in the Class 6A shot put. After finishing as state runner-up last season, Pinones once again found himself in second place heading into the final throw, and he clutched out the win with a toss of 65 feet, 11 and a half inches. He ends his career on top of the podium. How about that? On the track side of things, girls Class 6A 300-meter hurdles, Reagan Jr. Isabella DeGrossa battles her way onto the podium, finishing second overall in 41.8 seconds, one of many silver medalists from today's action. First, though, congratulations to Brandeis senior Rafe Clendenin, who struck gold in the Class 6A discus throw. His best toss was 184 feet and 3 inches. In the Class 6A boys high jump competition, Brennan senior Armando Acevedo cleared the bar at 6 feet 10 inches to secure a silver medal. In the boys pole vault, Reagan Jr. Samuel Abati took second with a best of 16 feet 3 inches, and Judson's Alexis Jesse took second in the triple jump. Her longest jump was 40 feet 3 1/4 inches. Brennan's Kayla Lyons is also bringing home silver in the 800-meter run. Reagan's Mackenzie DeGrossa took third in the high jump, and New Braunfels' Ella Vidas was third in the pole vault. Got full results from all the state championships right now on the BGC page at ksat.com. The defending state champion O'Connor softball team faced elimination today in Game 3 of their Class 6A third-round series against Weslaco. This one's in extras. Bottom of the ninth, game tied at 1. Winning run at third, and with the season on the line, Mako Dominguez snags a hot shot out of the air to rob Weslaco of the game-winning RBI. We head to the top of the 10th, and OC finally breaks through. Amaya Jasso shoots a base hit into right. That'll plate the go-ahead run and kickstart a 3-run frame. O'Connor is still alive with a 4-1 victory in 10 innings. Next up, East Central in the regional semifinals. Let's head to the majors. Rangers looking to clinch at least a series split with a bounce-back win over the A's. Pick this one up in the top of the 4th. Texas up 2-0. Nathaniel Lowe sends a rocket deep to left. That'll fly on out of here for a solo shot. One of 9 hits on the day for the Rangers. Texas takes this one 5-0 and will go for the series win tomorrow. San Antonio FC continues their road trip with a match against the Eastern Conference leading Charleston Battery tonight, and San Antonio owned this one from start to finish. 8th minute of play, keeper out of position, and Sam Adeniran makes them pay. That makes it 1-0 San Antonio right out of the gates. 32nd minute, Tani Oluwaseyi, finds some space and buries a shot into the back of the net. 4 first-half goals from the Alamo City club. Oluwaseyi and Ignacio Bailoni both tally a brace. SAFC scores a touchdown. They win it 7-0, the largest victory in franchise history. Last but not least, the XFL wrapped up their inaugural season this evening in the Alamo Dome, and the underdog Renegades absolutely stunned the top-ranked DC Defenders from the opening snap. Arlington jumped out to a 17-0 lead. Quarterback Luis Perez threw 3 touchdown passes, and the Renegades win 35-26 to claim the first ever XFL title. That'll do it for sports. We are back after the break.
Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, a few peaks of sun, then some scattered pop-up afternoon showers and storms, 40% coverage, 81 degrees. We get into next week. We boost those rain and storm chances a little bit more into Monday, and then a little bit warmer, less rain.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.